Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 865. I am your host, Matrix Lloyd 212, and I'm introducing Paul to the Real Whovians. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, Connor, what's up?
Hello.
James, what's going on?
Hey guys, sorry about the weird picture.
That's okay. All right, so Paul, basically, we have some questions we have to ask you. How long have you been a fan of Doctor Who?
Well, on and off for since the Peter Davison years, really. That was when I first started watching it properly.
Okay.
And like I said, it was the beginning of the end by then, and I sort of like intermittently watched it. And then
Well, you started getting turned off by Peter Davison, or?
No, more Colin Baker,
Oh.
to be honest. Colin Baker, I don't know why, he just wasn't my cup of tea. And then it was a program I could take or leave at the time.
Right.
And then I was living in Australia at the time, and when it came back in 2005, I think, and I called it over there. A few episodes, and I thought, oh, this seems good. And then I come back to the UK in 2005, and my nephew brought around a box set of the first series, and I managed to catch it all properly then, and then I was sort of hooked from there on, really.
So you've seen everything 2005 on to present?
Yeah, everything, yeah. And,
no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, I haven't missed an episode since. Good ones, bad ones, indifferent ones. You know, I'll watch it, but you know, I'm quite a big fan, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to have Connor ask you the first question. Or questions.
What was your favourite episode of the classic series?
Of the classic series, well. This is the really funny thing, and you guys probably won't believe this. I went through a bit of a mad time in the last couple of years of collecting all the classic series on DVD, but I just haven't really got round to watching them all yet. I've got them all stacked up on the shelf. The ones I have watched so far that I enjoyed was the very first episode of the John Pertwee era with the
Spirit in Space.
Yeah, and actually the very first Tom Baker one, Robot.
It's good one, that.
Yeah, it was good. I must admit, I'm more of a fan when he's on Earth rather than in space or anything historical, because I've never been a big history fan anyway, to be honest. So when he goes back in time, I tend to sort of shut off a little bit, I must admit. But anything present day, I guess I enjoy more. But from the current era, my favourite episode, I guess, is Vincent and the Doctor, is it?
Okay. That's a lot of people like that episode.
Mm.
What about favorites? Like, besides just one episode, could you name a few from like the 9th, the 10th, 11th, 12th?
Yeah.
If you don't know the name, you could just basically give a description.
Yeah, no, Rose. I just love the whole setup and, you know, everything from Russell T. Davies. I think his writing in the first series was absolutely spot on. And the God, there's so many. I loved the one where they go back to the 50s with David Tennant with in the television.
The Idiot's Lantern?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's an underrated one, that.
It is underrated, I think. You know,
Magpie.
It's got a good story though, you know. And Blink, of course, everybody's favourite. Love that, you know. Who doesn't like Blink? I think it's a real fan's favourite. I'm not totally hooked on a lot of the Peter Capaldi episodes. I don't know why. I guess from I don't know. I think since Stephen Moffat took over from Russell T Davies, there's more of a, or less, I should say, of an emotional pull, which there was with the Russell T Davies episodes. And I guess anything with Father's Day, for instance, and that was the one that really sort of sucked me right in. And it was because of the good storytelling and the emotional pull to it all and everything. And I do like Doctor Who when it's on that level. I know there are a lot of fans out there who think Doctor Who shouldn't be about that. You know, it should be science fiction. And
I love Father's Day. Yeah.
Yeah, Father's Day is a great episode. But, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea because it's not science fiction-y enough and it's more, I don't know, lovey-dovey or whatever you want to call it. But
I think it's a lot of characterization in an episode.
Yeah, it does for the new era explain to people why you can't just go back in time and save everyone. It's a really good.
Well, I think that's the difference between RTD's era and Moffat's era is that RTD is more about the character and Moffat's is more about the action and the story and the what's involved in the story rather than the character, which is probably why I think Peter Capaldi's characterization of the Doctor has been lost with what Matt Smith was. So Peter is almost becoming a hologram of what Matt Smith was to an extent, which is why, you know, with Chris Chibnall taking over, it's probably going to be, and hopefully Peter Capaldi doing one more series, it's going to mix things up and we're going to see a completely different Peter Capaldi from what we've seen before.
You can tell, too, that Moffat was having a great time, you know, even by the trailers with, like, Series 5, Series 6, you know, the emotional attachment behind it, even the music, everything meshed together. And then at some point in time, he even admitted he got depressed when he had to say goodbye to Arthur Darvill and Karen Gillan and Matt Smith. And, you know, when he did Peter Capaldi, you could see that he started off dark, like, which you would think that's fine, but that's not fine because he's getting dark because he's getting not as enthusiastic, Moffat, I think, in writing a new Doctor. So you could tell through the writing that, you know, he was going in many different directions in Series 8, and it didn't have that feeling.
I think my theory is that with Series 8, he started off dark because he was trying to force a tone that was different from Matt Smith. But because he forced it and he didn't believe in it, he sort of convinced himself to go back to what he wrote before with Matt Smith. That's why all of a sudden you have episodes like In the Forest of the Night, you know, all of these kooky sort of childlike episodes with Peter Capaldi.
Right, but it didn't seem like they communicated because, like, Mark Gatiss did his own thing with the Robin Hood one, which showed a different type of Capaldi than we saw it with Moffat. And that's, you know, that was, I felt, one of Mark Gatiss's greatest.
That was a kooky episode, but I think that Robot of Sherwood was one of the better characterizations of Peter Doctor.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. Who wrote that Into the Forest of the Night? Because it was somebody who was known for writing bad scripts, wasn't it?
Frank Cottrell Boyce.
What was the other one he wrote? It was a bad one. I know it was.
He's writing one for Series 10.
Oh no, that was the one. It was a one-off, wasn't it? And he's writing another, right?
Yeah,
there was a Caretaker episode, but I actually liked that episode.
That was a good episode. That was William Hartnell that was Peter Capaldi as William Hartnell.
Yeah,
it was a great episode. I
like that.
Into the Forest of the Night is probably one of the worst episodes.
Kill the Moon too. It looked like it was going to be a fantastic, great script and thing to perform, but then when Capaldi was acting out of character, where the Doctor don't give a crap about Earth, they lost me there.
Well, to be fair,
they lost me because the first 10 minutes you've got these spiders. It's one of the coolest. It's like yeah.
It's a great episode, and then it's.
And then where did the spiders go? They just disappeared. Okay, no more spiders.
That was one of the most hyped things about that series is the fact that very moment when the Doctor starts acting a bit weird, like he's not himself, you know, that was in all the magazines. That was what was trying to pull people into watching that episode. And it did, and I thought that Kill the Moon was okay until the beach scene.
Yeah,
the end.
Tonally, it was all over the show. That, you know, it was like it was up and down and sideways, left, right, and everything. Like, you know, I think with RTD, when he was riding, you knew more or less it was on an even kill pretty much. But, you know, with the Peter Capaldi episodes, I don't know. I just haven't warmed to him as much as I did maybe with, you know, David and Matt. But that's just my opinion.
I love him, but I don't warm to the direction of Moffat. And to be honest, a lot of these writers, I think they have been quite poor. However, the guy who wrote last season, what's the Mummy on the Orient Express, and there was another one he wrote. What was the other one before?
Flatline.
Oh, no, Flatline.
And then he co-wrote the first Maisie Williams one. Who died.
Brilliant writer. He is excellent, especially those Flatline and Mummy on the Orient Express. Those were the best episodes of the season for me. They were just, from start to finish, great. It's about the scripts. It just is. Capaldi himself is excellent.
Right.
Once we get a new showrunner, I think we're in a good spot.
You know, with Russell T Davies had the attention to detail. Like, he was concerned, well, what if Rose was gone for a year? How would her mother act? How would she blame Mickey Smith? And the next thing you know, you find out that, you know, he was arrested. You know, she thought that he killed her daughter. There was that whole backstory, the way they were complete enemies. And when it's all explained, it's like, wow, you know. But
that was the only good part of the Sabine episodes.
You know, so it was like Russell T Davies. You got to see the mother. You got to see the people that are connected with Rose's life and all the other companions. You know, like Martha and everything. But when Moffat tries to do it, they're like, Amy's mother and father are not important. They appear in one episode, okay. Arthur Darvill, not important. But then you see, you know, they have the wedding, but they don't have Arthur Darvill's family, or they don't show them, you know. And it's like, there's no attention to detail. No, why wouldn't Arthur Darvill's family be there? You know, like,
you're on the money there. You just don't care about the You don't care about Matt Smith's and Capaldi's companions as much. Right. I just didn't give a damn. I just didn't care. I don't have a connection with these characters at all.
I did actually, with Arthur Darvill's character, with his the relationship that he had with his father. I thought that was very well done in the way that was.
Wish we had more of that earlier, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And like that little postscript thing they done, it was a shame they didn't actually, you know, properly film that.
Yes.
You know? I really thought that was something they missed a trick there, but you know, it was a good relationship.
When he says goodbye, and then the
that's it.
Next episode, which is a shame. It's just a shame that the goodbye they gave was probably one of the worst in history.
Oh yeah, I agree. James, why don't you ask Paul a question?
Yeah, sure. I know you're quite critical of Colin Baker's era. There's a clown who wouldn't like that, but we won't go too much into that. I think you guys know who's a fan of Colin Baker. I love the classic series. I've seen every single episode, and even the Lost Stories. I listen to them. If you could bring back a villain which has not been utilised in the new show, so who hasn't been seen yet, who would you bring back?
What, from the classic series?
Yeah, from what you've seen, is there anything you've seen where you thought, I'd like to see a rehanced version?
Yeah, there's what is it now? There was an episode with now obviously it's not a villain, but it was something which really freaked me out at the time. And actually, I might have even watched it as a younger person. It even freaked me out. It was like a wooden little doll sitting on a windowsill or something, and then it got up and started walking around.
Oh, the gremlin thing in Terror of the Autons.
I think it. Yeah. Oh, man,
that scared a lot of. That's quite famous.
A lot of kids, you know, back in the day, you know.
You see, everyone says that's the scariest scene. You know what the weirdest scene for me in that episode is? Is the scene where Roger Delgado, as the master, makes that weird chair suffocate that man to death. I thought that was way more dark.
Yeah, that was the very first thing I ever saw.
That was a very dark scene for the time, especially, and because it's Doctor Who was initially started as a kids show.
Yeah.
So I thought that. I mean, yes, the little figure is scary, but you just watched a guy die. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Quite scary.
Yeah.
especially the way it is. But I mean, Roger Delgado's excellent. So.
Yeah, he was a very good master, I must admit. In the episodes I did see, like, you know, he had a good chemistry with John Pertwee and was it with Tom?
That's why he quit the show, because he died. It's,
Yeah.
He had that accident.
Yeah.
It's a shame. We could have had.
I've
lot
got
more.
something I want to ask you guys, because I think when I was typing messages to you earlier, I might have mentioned that for the last 2 or 3 hours, I've just been watching back to back your videos, what you put on YouTube.
Yes.
And it was something I was screaming at the telly, and I thought, I wish you could hear me, but you can't, and that's why I wanted to come on. And it's to do with the scheduling for this new series.
Yes.
Now, I was doing I could remember back in, I think it was the 4th series, they absolutely crucified David Tennant work-wise, because what they did, and this is what I'm alluding to now,
The specials, yeah.
the specials, they done a Christmas special, a full season, followed straight on to the next Christmas special, straight after that. So they done basically 13 episodes plus 2 Christmas specials as a one whole recording block, if you get what I mean. Now, what I'm trying to get to now is, do you think that will be the plan to, or because I can't see Chris Chibnall waiting around for a few months for, you know, them to film a Christmas special after they've finished doing the 13 episodes or whatever it is they're planning to do. What do you guys think? Do you think that Moffat will just go straight on to filming the special and that will be part of the finale, or do you think it will be a separate thing and then obviously it will basically be returned back to zero for Chibnall?
Well, let me just answer this first. I think that they'll film, like Moffat will film series 10, and the last episode he films will be the Christmas of 2017.
Yeah.
And I think that Chris Chibnall will film with Peter Capaldi while we're watching series 10.
Okay.
Because supposedly he has this time now that they announced him, like, you know, a while ago, writing the scripts. Now that he knows that Peter Capaldi's staying, it's easy for him to write. So he has his team, he has his room, and I'm sure that they're going to film next year for the following year. Now, as if you're asking me, is it going to be the same format as Russell T. Davis and Moffat, where 13 plus a Christmas special, or in some cases with Moffat, maybe 12 plus a Christmas special, or whatever? I'm not entirely sure. That's been determined yet, but from what I understand, I think they're keeping the Christmas specials as a regular thing.
Well, when Russell T. Davis did it in the full, he done the Kylie Minogue special, then the full series, and then the Cybermen Christmas special.
Well, the reason why they did the
together
specials was because David Tennant had to do Hamlet.
That's right.
So they had to work around his schedule, so they couldn't commit to a full season. And then with Moffat, for whatever reason, they split Series 7 into the anniversary season, but they didn't give us a season.
Yeah.
And they only gave us a 50th anniversary and a Christmas special, which, again, we lost. And just like now this year, another season we lose, where the last thing we saw was Husbands of River Song. Now we have a Christmas special, which I think is totally uncalled for, that Christmas into Christmas, like there's no season. I think a lot of fans are outraged by it. And it's only natural that people are concerned that because a new showrunner is taking over, are they going to have a huge, huge break? And I really hope that's not the case. And I know that Capaldi is not for a huge break either, because he's already having a break now. So he will tend not to stick around if they don't really utilize him to his fullest capacity. Connor or James, you want to answer?
Series 11 is going to be in 2018. There's no change in that now. The only thing that Chris Chibnall is going to change in terms of the format is that he's going to introduce a concept which is used in American TV called the writers' room, where he gets all the writers of the series to sit around a table. Although, to add, it's not very cost-friendly, because if you don't live in London, where Doctor Who is based, then you've got to pay for everyone to travel down every week almost. And he's going to have a situation where they all sit around one table and they all throw ideas out. So what that does is the benefit of that, from what I understand, I'm not an expert at writers' rooms, I'm not an expert at writing. What it does is it produces a more watertight sort of season. So you'll probably, with Chris Chibnall, which is going to be good for some fans, you'll see less dips in quality. So you won't go from a classic like Heaven Sent recently to something like In the Forest of the Night. It'll be more consistent. It'll be like RTD's era, where it's consistent, and that's what that helps to provide. And
so, are you saying then that next year's Christmas special will be filmed straight after the filming of this series, or they'll start Chris Chibnall's shows and then go back to Moffat's Christmas special?
Moffat's Christmas special is probably going to be filmed in January or February
Wait, so that's Moffat's last episode.
to be aired to Christmas.
Yeah, the Christmas special will be filmed February, March 2017. Then they will have a 4 or 5 month break, and then in June, because they've got to give them 10 months at least, they'll start preparing and filming for Series 11. So while we're in the second half of Series 10, while we're being preoccupied by that, they'll already be filming Chibnall's first series.
And Chibnall's series probably won't start in April, but it will probably start in May or June of the following year.
I'd say April. I think
you think so?
Yeah.
You've got to be remember, it's dependent on the BBC too. Like, whatever they want to do, do they, and what Capaldi wants to do. I hope they do, but I don't want the guy to be overworked, because I don't want him to get frustrated. I'd rather have more Capaldi than flush out more at once.
That's what happened with Tennant. Yeah, I remember the DVD commentary when I was filming the Cybermen Christmas special, and they said that everybody was absolutely exhausted and knackered by the time they got round to filming that, because they just come off the back of filming the Kylie Minogue special and then the Series 4, and then they went straight into filming the Cybermen Christmas special. So how Peter Capaldi's going to cope with that, I don't know. They're going to.
I have a feeling
a good break between.
I have a strong feeling that people are going to think that he's going to leave with Chibnall in Series 11. I have a strong feeling that Peter Capaldi is going to give us Series 12 with Chibnall, because it's going to be a lot more organized. It's going to be a lot more, okay, these months you could film whatever you want to film with a different movie or different things. So I think that once we get into the groove with Chibnall, I think Peter Capaldi will feel comfortable, and I have a strong feeling he will stay on for Series 12. That's me, though.
Well, his recent comments about leaving don't even indicate he's planning on leaving after Series 11. So I think he could plausibly.
It's really, it's unusual for them to kick out a Doctor. Obviously, it happened with Colin Baker, right? But it would be, I think the BBC would have to be immensely stupid to kick out, especially in this day and era, right? So the only person who's going to make him leave is him. So it's really if he's enjoying it or not, and he loves it. He's unique because, yes, David Tennant was a fan, but this is a super fan.
Yeah.
He loves Doctor Who. Does he want to carry on? But then again, as a super fan, he might be a bit selfish and think, well, I kind of want to watch Doctor Who now. Do you know what I mean? That's part of him there too. So if we get 4, I've always said 4 from him, I'm very happy. Very, very happy if we get season 11 from him. That's totally
cool. I don't want to burn him out, that's all.
Yeah.
I don't want him to get
I know
stressed.
he wants to direct stuff too, and he wants to do some movies too, so hopefully this will give him the opportunity. We are getting shorted with time with the Zoom, unfortunately. We're going to be out of here in about a minute. So I do want to thank you, Paul. Welcome aboard to the Real Whovians.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, and hopefully we can get you back on soon. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, James. Paul, I will do a Real Whovians Cast Unlimited with you. I do that with all the members, so that will happen soon, I hope. Thank you guys very much. Have a great night. Take care. Bye for now.